Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle, and today we are going to take a look at some off-season bodybuilders, and for the most part, I would have liked to get all on-stage guest posing shots, because it's one thing to get a picture taken of you at home or poolside with your belly hanging out on the off-season, but it's another thing to go up on stage and display it in a guest posing. But I didn't just go search for big-bellied bodybuilders and things of that nature. Every bodybuilder on this video is a true legend. And speaking of legends, have any of you guys been able to guess who belongs to this little Buddha belly here? It's none other than Lee Haney. Can you imagine that one? That's right, guys. For any of you who never realized, even Lee Haney got himself in less than stage-ready condition. A couple of pictures of him here. Not too many. I'm sure the guy, wasn't that proud of displaying his physique here like this. Front lat spread. And is that Boyer Co. back there? Is that Boyer Co.? It looks like it. He's probably looking at Lee Haney thinking, geez Louise, I could take him. I could take him for sure. And then the day of the show, boom, Lee Haney. He shows up in stage-ready condition each and every time. And since we're on the topic of Lees, there's the obvious one, Lee Priest, and he is in most of these types of videos, the off-season, gaining weight, things of that nature, and he could put the food away, guys, on the off-season. There is this classic picture of him here. He's gnawing away on some fried chicken, I do believe. But like I said, I would like to have this video mostly guest posings, but you can't really mention Priest without mentioning this guy, Paul Daulet. They were roommates. They both competed together many times. They lived together, probably snacking on the same foods. Here's Paul Daulet fat. But don't misconstrue the situation, guys. This picture of Paul Daulet was years after his competitive years. His very competitive years anyway. He did make a return. But let's go through the list, guys. Here he is. This is the man himself, Shawn Ray. The guy that called Roden a fat Homer Simpson or an out-of-shape Homer Simpson. Something like that. Anyway, it looks like Shawn Ray displayed a too smooth Monsoon physique as well. And to tell you the truth, that's how this video started. I wanted to do a comparison between Shawn Ray and Shawn Roden, both off-season, because Ray was really calling Roden out there. And speaking of which, we might as well get this guy out of the way. Wow! He looks so sloppy. He looks so sloppy. That's the word. Look at the girth from the side. Look at the bellies, baby, please, as Louismarco would say. My. The man is flat out of shape. He's got visible body fat. But don't you worry, guys. Boom! He would always come in, showroom floor condition, just as peeled as the day is long. And it wasn't a new thing. He's been doing that for years. This was, I don't know, when he was placing second at the Olympia, 2015, 16, I think it was. Whenever it was, he obviously bounced back from looking like this. Here's Greg Kovacs. Now, this dude here gets an honorable mention. Wasn't really known for guest posings, things of that nature, but I'm sure he did his fair share. He was so huge, but this was more of a gradual thing. He used to look like this. Food for thought. And speaking of food, nobody ate more food than Greg Kovacs, so he gets a little honorable mention. And now back to the legends, the true legends. And there is no more legendary bodybuilder, or no more bodybuilder more legendary than this guy. The king, Ronnie Coleman. Looks pretty lean here, right? Boom. Look at the size of him here. Now, is this a guest posing or not? It looks like it is. Now, this one truly is a guest posing. He has his sunglasses on there. Could you imagine the amount of food that Coleman was eating at this point? So thick in the midsection, yet I see abs. So he was, I don't know if I would call it conditioned, but you can see he's rock hard in the legs, things of that nature. He's actually doing a guest posing with Jay Cutler, and I guess Cutler will get an honorable mention here, although I will say he didn't really bulk up like a lot of them did. He kept a pretty low body fat percentage, I think, did Cutler, even from behind. I mean, the guy's not tremendously massive, and as we all know, he did come in massive, showtime, show ready. So guys like Greg Doucette, who are more spokesmen for not getting too sloppy and bulky. I mean, it's great for a guy like him, because obviously if Jay Cutler was working for him, then that technique does work. But we don't want to get sidetracked too much. Coleman was a guest posing guy. I believe this was even after he competed. Now, I know this was, oh gosh darn it, 2008, I believe. And he was still out there guest posing. But that's Ronnie Coleman, guys. Little too smooth, Monsoon. Now, let's go into the future of then and have a look at this pudgy-faced fella here. And that's the biggest difference I noticed from the gift, Phil Heath. His face really looked pudgy. If you really look at his guest posing physique, I mean, I kind of see abs there. He wasn't out of shape. He was just very puffy. Puffy's the word. And these were his prime years, guys. Don't misconstrue the situation. This was not when he had midsection issues. I think this is 2012, to tell you the truth. You ever thought you'd see Phil Heath with the soggy donk, a soft set of glutes? I wouldn't. This is interesting. This is from 2011, his best year. And he doesn't look tremendously, watery, or he doesn't look tremendously big either. He looks kind of bad. He looks terrible. So it doesn't really matter what your off-season physique really looks like. You have different muscle under there. It's more refined, different types of muscle. Anyway. My point is, I guess, all of the great ones have done it. I mean, take a look at Dexter Jackson. You're going to call him the Blade now? It doesn't really matter, though, I guess. Curious to see Dexter Jackson without glutes. So he doesn't walk around with glutes all the time. Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. We are going to finish this video off with none other than the Shadow Yates, Dorian Yates. Have a look, guys. These ones, I don't know. I don't know what it was. Whether it was his face, he has a goatee, that could be different, but something about the off-season Dorian Yates that he looks so much different than the on-season, the stage-ready Dorian Yates. I think it's his face. He looks hilarious. I don't know. Look at this pose. This was probably 95. This was obviously after he tore his bicep. But he looks huge. He looks like he is 300 pounds, and condition-wise, he's anything but fat. He was, it's not like people say, oh, they get fat. No, they don't get fat. They look fat compared to their ectoskeleton selves. But wow. Look at the size of Dorian here. Now he looks 2020 stage ready. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. I'm not making fun of nowadays athletes. They're great. But let's face it, Dorian's conditioning was on another level. Here's his back on the off season, and this was an interesting tail. With all due respect, I'm showing a tail. Anyway, I'm showing his buttocks. It's no more conditioned, his back's no more conditioned than any other off-season bodybuilder. So that just goes to show all you up-and-coming bodybuilders, you future stars, to bulk up on the off-season, to look like this, don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. Because Dorian Yates, arguably the greatest of all time. And if he's not, then the greatest of all time was in this video. They all did it. They all bulked up and looked kind of chubby. It's that food belly. You gotta put in a lot of calories. Your stomach expands. Your face looks totally different. And YouTubers like myself call you smooth. A little too smooth, in fact. Monsoon. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this special feature. Little bit of a different one. I did a different type of video last week and asked you guys to hit the thumbs up button if you did enjoy it, and do the same with this one. If I see a lot of thumbs up on it, I'll continue doing videos of this nature. Have a great day, guys.